The following is an excerpt from Chapter 9 of Sun Tzu's The Art of War. If the enemy is close, and yet quiet, he occupies a strategic position. If he is at a distance, and yet acts provocatively, he wants us to advance. Where he has positioned himself on level ground, he is harboring some advantage. If there is movement in the trees, he is coming. If there are many blinds in the bushes, he is looking to confuse us. If birds take flight, he is lying in ambush. If animals stampede in fear, he is mounting a surprise attack. If the dust peaks up high, his chariots are coming. If the dust spreads out low to the ground, his infantry are coming. If the dust reaches out in scattered ribbons, his firewood details have been dispatched. If a few clouds of dust come and go, he is making camp. If his envoys are modest of word, yet he continues to increase his readiness for war, he will advance. If his language is belligerent, and he advances aggressively, he will withdraw. If his light chariots move out first, and take up position on the flanks, he is moving into formation. If he has suffered no setback, and yet sues for peace, he is plotting. If he moves rapidly with his troops in formation, he is setting the time for battle. If some of his troops advance and some retreat, he is seeking to lure us forward. If the enemy soldiers lean on their weapons, they are hungry. If those sent for water first drink themselves, they are thirsty. If there is an advantage to be had, yet they do not advance to secure it, they are weary. Where birds gather, the enemy position is unoccupied. Where there are shouts in the night, the enemy is frightened. Where there are disturbances in the ranks, the enemy commander is not respected. Where their flags and pennants are shifted about, the enemy is in disorder. Where his officers are easily angered, the enemy is exhausted. Where the enemy feeds his horses grain and his men meat, and where his men no longer bother to hang up their water vessels or return to camp, the now desperate enemy is ready to fight to the death. Where hemming and hawing, the enemy commander speaks to his subordinates in a meek and halting voice, he has lost his men. Meting out too many rewards means the enemy is in trouble, and meting out too many punishments means he is in dire straits. The commander who erupts violently at his subordinates, only then to fear them, is totally inept. When the enemy's emissary comes with conciliatory words, he wants to end hostilities.